drugs, having fights, it was hard in the north. But I said, all well, all praise to my God. Left a stain in the street when we spin out the car. Red bandana tie around the road. Hope my girl could forgive me living life like a star. All red bottoms looking like I walked on the scene. Homicide damage with the pills. Young nigga came up still running from the system. Caught his homeboy stealing out the pack, so he clipped him. Been feeling down, need somebody for the lift. He been fighting with his girl cause he said it don't feel him. Mama say that he got drugs in his system. New image, old me, so they miss him. How the fuck I supposed to act with my father in the prison? Tell another nigga listen back then, I ain't listen. Real player with some young niggas round me, crib. With some old heads out of jail, leave a nigga miss. Lot of money, but they still don't understand how I'm living. From the streets to the can, either way I'm living. Put my rip a nigga up 1 second in a minute. Tell a nigga hit me up if he really got 10. My nigga telling me to praise to Allah. With some cold-blooded killers standing right in front of y'all. Everybody got a pistol, neither one got a heart. Selling drugs, having fights, it was hard in the north. But I say, all well, all praise to my God. Left a stain in the street when we spin out the car. Red bandana tie around the road. Hope my girl could forgive me living life like a star. What I say? Press the button and the door open up. Let my nigga out the whip, ain't no shooting out the rave. Got the back in the front sold up. Tell me spin around the block right before you catch a play. Came home, started selling AA. Got some dog food on me with some act in the case. Got a K right in my home if you ran in my place. Put a bullet in his dome once it exit his face. On my knees, praying to God, telling him I'm going home if I don't live up to going hard. One night I ain't go home, girl, acting crazy cause she mad that I'm living like a star. Bitch, I'm straight up out them trenches, I ain't never had a heart. And I'm plugged in the socket, I ain't never had a car. And you want the fancy things, so you better play your part. Told that bitch you don't work, then I swear you gon' starve. My nigga telling me to praise to Allah. With some cold-blooded killers standing right in front of y'all. Everybody got a pistol, neither one got a heart. Selling drugs, having fights, it was hard in the north. But I say, all well, all praise to my God. Left a stain in the street when we spin out the car. Red bandana tie around the road. Hope my girl could forgive me living life like a star. Like a star, yeah.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, the Bookit Sports community around the world. I'm not wearing a shirt.
Holy shit, where the fuck is your body?
I know, that's what I'm saying. I actually fucking hate this shirt, but I'm going to wear it one time and never again.
Dude,
I do not look good in camo. Even looking at the camera right now of this show, I am just unfortunately not a camo guy. But you know what? We're giving it a shot. We're trying it out on a Friday because we might as well. There's no other option other than to have a Friday.
Yeah, I think that looks good, dude.
Dude, we officially made it to Friday. How about it? The left.
We did. Let's fucking go there and jam.
I know. The left needs to be careful letting me get to this many Fridays because one Friday is going to get out of control and then they're just going to have a problem on their hands is where I'm at right now with my Friday behavior. But shout out to left for letting us get to a Friday. Here we go. Dude, a lot happened in sports last night, but I'm going to actually start some company drama, if you don't mind.
God, you got some tea, dude?
Is that okay?
I'm actually sipping on tea right
now. Do you guys, wow, morning tea. That's actually so goated. Do you mind if I start some company drama? Is that okay?
Yeah.
And I would like someone to clip this and post it. I'm fading BTL this entire weekend. After the actions of Krabs the past 2 days, hand feeding me a 1-4 card, then chalking the TMA slip with Juan Soto, but then I open my feed and see that BTL went 5-0 again. Here's the thing about it. I'm just fading those boys over at the show because I'm just, I've had enough. I need to stand up for myself. I just cannot be fed 1-4 cards, be in bookie piss, then get a Juan Soto, hit the runs. Were we muted that whole time?
I think we were.
Were we muted that whole time?
They could hear us.
Were we muted that whole time?
Start over and turn that down.
We were not muted. Okay, we're good. We're good. I will say that.
It's going to be better now.
We're muted but muffled. Did you guys hear that I'm starting beef with BTL? Was that heard? Did you guys hear that part? That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. Yeah, that's all I need to know. Okay, they heard it. Yeah, no, here's the situation. I'm fading BTL. For today and the weekend after the actions of Krabs that bets. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Sometimes you have to put your foot down, and I'm putting my foot down. Getting fed a 1-4 card from Krabs and then getting a Juan Soto hit from his RBIs when he's the worst batter in the league and chalking the TMA 3-piece yesterday. And then I opened the feed and see they went 5-0 yesterday. So that's the reality of the situation, and that's what's happening.
Yeah, you know what? I'd be really pissed too if one of them gave me a winner. The Sharp report went 5-0. They went 8-2 overall.
And Josh was giving winners. That's rare as Ma in this generation. The audio is shocked. How are we underwater, guys?
What's going on?
I don't know.
Should I try to mute me and then leave you?
I don't know. Let me hear. Let me just peep. Let me peep. Let me peep. Oh, we are underwater a little bit. I wonder why we're underwater. We need to get Yale up and moving, dude. Fuck! We got a new soundboard. I apologize, guys. It's just the situation at hand.
You call him?
Yeah, I'm calling him right now. I'm just gonna get him on the horn. If we're underwater, what's a song from Little Mermaid? You got one on deck for that?
Little Mermaid?
The audio's chopped. I need you up here, please.
Sure.
Sounds like we're underwater. All right, dude, coming up. We got it, guys. We're gonna get it. Everyone relax, guys. In chat, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. We're underwater. I hear you. We're underwater. I hear you. It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna get it figured out. I understand we're underwater. I hear you. They're saying we're underwater, Nick. They're saying it's a SpongeBob ass stream.
SpongeBob ass stream.
Nick on camera.
Sure.
People want it. People need it. Oh, my audio's kind of booty. Wait, it's not that booty.
Yeah, it's not that bad at all.
No, I think it's just because the check 1 2. Oh, Mike.
Check 1 2.
Is that better?
Is it going
Chat,
up?
is that better? I think it might have been picking up off of that mic over there too.
Am I chalked? Am I chalked in the street? Am I chalked in the street?
You shouldn't be.
Yeah, we got the same color on today.
I know, that's what I was saying.
Oh, mine's going in and out for sure. Mine's going in and out. Let's try this.
Yeah, do one of those guys. You're just gonna unplug and replug.
1 2 1 2 1 2. Caitlin Clark is the GOAT. Angel Reese is a bomb. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Caitlin Clark is the GOAT. Is a bomb. It does go in and out for me. It is going in and out for me. That is a bummer, dude. That is a bummer.
I might be better now.
Are we better now, chat? Chat, are we chalked or is it better now? Fuck.
Break.
What does break mean?
In and out.
In and out.
Good. A
A
little
little
better.
better.
Talk.
Why is it going in and out?
Dude, we had camera issues just before the show too, chat.
Why is it going in
You
and
guys,
out?
you guys normally do streamer?
Yeah, when Krabs is on. Why is it going in and out? Dude, it sounds like it's picking up like from a different mic.
Well, that's what I was saying. Is this the?
Should I just unplug this?
Yeah, I'll put it on there. What? Can you see what chord where this one goes to? Is this?
Which one? This one?
Yeah. Is that your mic? It should be.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, good luck, dude. It sounds like I'm dumping through that mic. We're gonna figure it out.
We're just gonna just take the other end of the cord. We're gonna do this together, chat. We're gonna figure this out.
Yeah,
together.
what did Big Book Sports
Chat, how does my mic sound? Does my mic sound better?
Your mic sounds fine.
My mic sounds fine. Your mic is one that sounds
Yeah.
like it's better. All right. Well, let's see.
Maybe try just like adjust. Like I don't know.
Just put that rough.
Josh is got everything shot.
Josh got everything shot.
Josh is got everything shot. Yeah, mine's just going like in and out.
We're gonna turn off the mixer and turn it back on.
Thanks, Lauren. Appreciate it.
That could be a reason why it was on all night.
What Lauren said.
Said your shirt's tough. Mine.
We're just gonna read this.
Yeah, Picks by Brew has AirPods in and he's getting flashbanged. Oh, I think it might be fixed now.
Well, it's the mixer's not on, so
It sounds like we're talking through a webcam.
I know. But right now, it's gonna sound bad because it's not.
I'm a bot. The computer was not muted.
Are we fine now? Are we good, chat? 1, 2, check.
Hold on, I'm a bot. The computer was not muted. Yeah, that was my fault. All right.
Yeah, so that one's on.
Hand up. That one's on me, guys.
That one's on Mike.
Hands up. Hands up. That one's on me, guys. The computer was not muted. So when whoever said it sounds like you're talking through webcam, thank you. You put us in the right spot.
Well, to be fair, I also had both of our mics muted to start the show.
Yeah, that is good. No, that's good. No, that's good. That's good. That's a great way to start a Friday episode. I'm sorry my brain was off, guys. The computer was not muted, so you were hearing us through the laptop. It was breaking up the audio. Crispy coming at you live. Probably sounds way better. All right, let's start back at the top. I'm starting beef with Bookit BTO for the rest of the weekend. After Krabs fed me a 1-4 card on Wednesday. That is on my Bookit tracker. That almost brought me to down units on the year. Shout out. And then fed me Juan Soto, hits, runs, RBIs, or fantasy yesterday. And he's the worst batter in the MLB. I will officially be starting my war against BTL for the rest of the weekend. So and then of course I opened Twitter today. The Sharp Report went 5-0, but I got losers. So that's where we're at.
How did he give you Juan Soto? Like what was the did you guys discuss other squares, or did you just ask him for one and he gave you Soto? Or?
Well, so we had him on TMA yesterday, and every time someone's come on, we do like a collab lineup. And he was like, "What about Juan Soto?" And everybody knows he's the worst batter in the MLB right now. But worst batter in the MLB right now. So gave us Soto, and then Soto did what Soto does currently and shit down his leg. And I wouldn't be mad about it, but the day prior fed me a 1-4 card. Like hand fed, and then today I wake up 5-0 Sharp Report. It's just where we're at. Sometimes I have to put my foot down. I'm putting my foot down today. That's my foot down. Fading the BTL boys. And unfortunately, Jovan and Goots just happen to be in the crosshairs because, they're a team. So that's just what it is. That's just what it is.
You know what? Fading Goots, like, you should not be sorry about that.
I mean, that's literally ma and pa.
Yeah.
All you have to do is pick whoever's playing against the Orioles.
And they've won 2 in a row, by the way, which means today they're probably going to lose.
Auto fade. Auto fading the Orioles today. So shout out. Yeah, I literally missed out on the 4-1 and the 5-0 days. So shout out. Will officially be hunting BTL for the rest of the weekend in my camo shirt. BTL is in my crosshairs. I am hunting. That's just what it is. I'm just hunting BTL, and that's what it is. All right. A lot happened yesterday. And by a lot, I mean absolutely nothing because there's baseball on. I feel like we're starting to get that taste of what the summer is going to look like and be like. And it's just the worst. But I'm starting to get you. And I think it's only the worst right now because you have the NBA on in 2 days. So like days with just baseball suck because you're like, dude, I really just want to like watch the NBA. But once the NBA is like officially done and then we can start moving to just baseball and there's no like other sport on the horizon, I think I'll be fine.
Yeah.
But right now, like just baseball going on, like I didn't even watch any sports yesterday. I'm going to keep it a buck. However, I am dialed in on golf in the RBC Heritage Cup.
There we go.
So make no mistake.
In that.
I didn't pick a winner, but I've been dialing in on Prize Picks with it, and we've actually had really good success. We called Jason Day yesterday. Josh had Justin Rose in our lineup that turned green as ma. The day prior, I had Max Homa birdies green as ma. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about, we're going to talk about the Saturday games in the NBA. We're going to talk about the NBA playoffs this whole episode. I'm happy that Rav is on because I feel like you've been dialed in on the NBA, so maybe you'll be able to give some insight. We do have 2 games on today. I don't want to start surfing the slate just yet. But I did want, wow.
What? Get some news fed to you?
Trent said he's making a home run line today and he's going to piss a lot of people off.
Wow. We were just discussing that.
I feel like he's been green though, has he not?
He hasn't hit a demon one yet, but he's been pretty damn close multiple times. Wow. And I tail every single one.
Wow. Are the reports true that you are a shark on Prize Picks?
Oh my God, yeah. I haven't been on a show since this happened.
Yeah. What happened?
So basically like I started getting limited fat on Prize Picks.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what was going on. At first I thought it was just like a Wi-Fi issue or I didn't know what was going on. First it was like I couldn't win over a certain amount, and then I couldn't win a certain amount on a certain athlete. Like I couldn't go over like 1,000 to win on a certain athlete that I was betting on. And then I would get like your max bet is 250 or 500. Like it would fluctuate on the day. So I was talking to like Yale, he couldn't do anything about it, and then Trent, I had texted Fruity and Trent, and then after a couple of days, like they texted Prize Picks, and like it just was an issue for the last week or so.
Wow.
Last week or so, like where I could barely bet anything on Prize Picks, and supposedly like I was in their like shark system, like they automatically flag certain accounts that it has been winning a lot, combined with like putting a ton of like large lineups in. And so
I've never been limited one time on Prize Picks.
The mixing of the demon,
so shout out,
and the I guess the slips from 2 weeks ago probably did that to me.
Wow, I'll tell you when you weren't limited was football season. So shout out, dude. But NBA might be your sport. Everyone at this company has, I think, found their Prize Pick sports. Like Lauren is baseball.
Yeah.
I think you're NBA. I don't have one.
No, you're college basketball.
Trent definitely doesn't have one. Trent is whatever everyone else is hot in becomes his. Actually, no, he's pretty dialed on NFL. Trent is like an unbelievable NFL wagerer. So maybe like NFL, Krabs and Jovan, I'm mad at them right now, so I'm not getting them any credit for anything. Goots definitely does not have a sport.
Absolutely
Goots is rat shit at pretty much every sport. I'll tell you what Goots is the worst at, though, is college basketball. I mean, Goots is generationally bad at doing anything college basketball-wise because he just hates Maryland, but Maryland just unfortunately was a wagon this year. So, I mean, there's just...
Dude, a wagon.
A wagon, dude. A literal wagon.
I think he told me he was like starting to get into college baseball, I think. Or, I don't know. I'm sure he's probably not that great at that.
He was starting to post some golf plays, and I loved it.
That's right.
But then he gave up.
Stopped.
Then he gave up.
He's like, I don't want to get hated on the feed.
Yeah, dude. Welcome to the show, dude. That's just a normal Monday. Dude, the NBA playoffs are actually around the corner. We have a game tomorrow. We have 2 games today. We have an entire game. Actually, yeah, maybe I'm on a WNBA sharp on PP. I used to dial in on WNBA. I'll tell you what, dude. Me and Josh did an exercise yesterday. I would love to hear from you just because I feel like you've been more dialed in on NBA than most, just because it's what you've been doing on Prize Picks every day. What dark horse team do you think has a chance to win the NBA Finals from Rav?
I saw this clip, and I agree with Josh.
What the fuck, dude?
With the Warriors. The Warriors, for sure. That entire, 3 to, I guess it was 8, you know how close they were in the West?
Yeah.
It was like all 6 of those teams were within 2 games. The Warriors got shafted with the play-in, but, I mean, they fucking showed out.
They did show out.
And I think they could continue to do that. You got Jimmy, playoff Jimmy, who's a fucking menace in the playoffs.
He's gross.
I mean, no one can forget the bubble.
No one can forget.
And then you have Steph, Draymond, who, you can give him all the shit he wants. Like, he's a great role player and knows exactly what he needs to do. I don't know. I kind of like the Warriors as a dark horse. Who did you get?
Mine was, dude, the Milwaukee Bucks. And by the way, Damian Lillard just got cleared yesterday.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. Which just tells you, though, that there's just some injuries in the NBA where it might just be to keep a guy healthy and rest him a little bit. Because when the doctor comes out and goes, we have never seen a recovery like this before, just makes me feel like he might have not had as severe of blood clotting as they're saying. And maybe Dame just needed a little bit of a rest.
Yeah, probably.
Could you tell me we're making groundbreaking medical advances in 2025 with Damian Lillard at the age of 35? There's no shot.
He just definitely needs some rest, dude.
Just needed some rest, and that's okay. That's okay. But when it came out, I was scared for his life.
Yeah, blood clot is scary.
Very scary. But apparently this guy, right as the day before the playoffs start, groundbreaking, never before seen in blood clot technology, Damian Lillard's body is now that of a superhero, and he's fully healed. You know what I'm saying? It's great news. It's phenomenal news.
Definitely.
It aged my Bucks take phenomenally. So shout out that. That's sick.
It did.
But there's just no way.
No,
there's just no way.
They get Dame back, and he's back to what he was. Playoff Dame. There's so many of these variations of these players that once they get the playoffs, they're just unguardable.
So many.
You can make that argument for half the stars in the playoffs right now.
Giannis, dude. Well, that's why the Bucks are my dark horse. One, because I think you got guys like Kevin Porter Jr., who, by the way, before he did his whole thing, which was deplorable, and I don't even know if he should be allowed to play in the league, he was averaging 20 on the Rockets, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Kyle Kuzma, who's won an NBA championship. I don't think Kyle Kuzma is very good, but he knows how to play a role when it matters, and playing winning basketball. I think that matters to me when you make it this deep. You still got Brooke Lopez, and you're telling me playoff Giannis and Dame after getting bounced last year aren't going to come for a little bit of revenge, dude? Come on.
I could see it.
Like,
for
I
sure.
love this Bucks team now. I absolutely love this Bucks team. And PrizePicks had their NBA series averages up, and now they're all gone.
Did they really? How did
They're
I
all
miss
gone.
that?
They're all gone. They're all gone. But we're going to talk about that later in the show when we get to cooking. You're also a big Pirates fan, baseball fan. What's going on in baseball, Ref?
I remember when you were a baseball fan or Pirates fan. With me.
Well, I mean, the Athletics just turned it up, and you guys are just generationally bad.
And you know what? Like I was telling you, if there was a singular team to get in on, like if you're not a baseball fan, I feel like the Athlete, I would be an A's fan.
Dude, I'm all the way in.
Dude,
When we get to Vegas and they start actually being able to pay people, like they're going to be unstoppable.
Their color scheme's also dope.
So sick.
Like the Athletics, it's just like a
So sick.
look at some aura.
The A's.
Yeah.
They do have aura, and they
Loki
just
has some aura.
swept the White Sox. Shout out, dude.
Soderstrom.
He's gross, dude. He's literally Barry Bonds.
How many does he have now?
Talk about fucking Mike Trout, dude. You better learn Soderstrom if you like baseball, dude.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. People talk about Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani. You ever heard of Soderstrom? Because nobody wants to pitch at Soderstrom right now. I think pitchers would actually prefer right now to pitch at Mike Trout rather than Soderstrom.
Dude,
That's how good he is.
probably.
He's our Barry Bonds.
Trout 0 for 4 yesterday. He had a few beach balls that he missed on.
Dude, he is junk. I'll die on the Shohei Ohtani hill. Mike Trout is junk. Shohei Ohtani, like, leagues better than Mike Trout.
You're definitely right. I mean, at this point, for sure.
I mean, all time. That was my point. It's like all time. Everyone likes to be like, dude, finished second MVP voting 9 years in a row. What have you done for me lately? Nothing. He's junk.
How many playoff games has he won?
None. He's not a winner, dude. Fortunately, Shohei Ohtani's a winner.
I don't know
That's
if I
all
could
that
say
matters.
he's junk, but he definitely is getting lapped by Ohtani right now.
Lapped, dude. Lapped. Like, we got people in chat saying, Trout had a good week last week. Remember the last time you had to, like, make an excuse for Shohei? I don't. I don't.
I don't either.
I don't remember that.
I did see a crazy graphic that like all of the 6 runs that Ohtani has scored, or I guess 7 runs that Ohtani has scored, him homering has been 6 of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about it, huh?
I know, it's kind of crazy.
How about it? That's actually nuts. How are you feeling on your Pirates season-long bet that you have to do every single day? Are you up units, down units? What's going on with
I'm
that?
definitely down units, but
It seemed like a hint of optimism after that, dude.
I'm definitely down units, but
Oh, okay.
they had a great series against the Nats. Shout out Krabs. Starting pitchers shoved. I think the whole series, the average ERA was like 1.4, and that's how they're going to win games, because a lot of times their offense is going to go stagnant. But as long as their starting pitching is, decent or good, and it can be elite, like they'll definitely win more games than they should.
Mm.
And I doubled one of the Nats games. I put 50 instead of 25 one of them, and they won.
What, last night?
No, 2 nights ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yesterday's game was gross. 1-0. Like, those aren't fun for anybody.
Dude, and the Nerfy didn't hit.
I know, that's insane. We had it. It's okay.
That's fine.
It's okay. It's okay.
But I do think they
okay.
have a lot of people coming. You know about Bubba Chandler?
What?
You know about Bubba Chandler?
Yeah, I know about Bubba Chandler.
They got guys coming.
They're all coming.
Reinforcements coming. They're gonna
Guys,
be
the
better.
Pirates are coming.
They're coming.
They're coming. They're coming.
They're fucking coming.
They're coming. Did you think he was actually pitching at McCutcheon's head? Just be honest, he wasn't.
No, I don't think he was.
No one has beef with
But
fucking McCutcheon.
Did you see the clips from last year when he was on the Cubs?
Yeah, but nobody has beef with McCutcheon.
They were down
dude.
3-0. Reynolds pimped one off of him, and then Kutch hit the go-ahead in Wrigley. And Kutch was like super adamant about it. And of course, he hit Reynolds before McCutcheon too. Like he hit both of them.
But nobody's got beef.
And the Reynolds one was straight to the back.
No one's got beef with Kutch, dude.
I mean, I'm not
No
saying
one's got
I'm
beef
not
enough with
saying it was
Kutch on
purpose,
the Nationals to want to take his head
but
off.
it definitely smells a little stinky. You don't think it smells stinky?
Not at all, dude. Actually, I don't think it's like. Also, like, those teams just aren't good enough to like have beef with each other to the point where like you'd want to like take someone out of the game. Like,
No, that's fair. I mean, definitely not headhunting. And I heard Krabs' segment yesterday about Martinez like being a super player's manager,
yep.
not wanting to throw or cause any issues, or whatever. Which I mean, that makes sense. But I don't know. I don't think it's like 100%
You're in the camp of he was hunting head.
No, I don't think he was hunting head, but I don't think it was also completely harmless.
Okay. I could get behind that. Not completely harmless, but not hunting head.
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
Yeah.
Maybe you just wanted to brush him off the plate, but it was a little bit too much.
Maybe both of them, I guess.
Yeah, but Brian Reynolds probably deserves to get hit, though. He just seems like a douchebag. I don't know if he's a good guy or not.
He's he's like honestly like Skeens. They both have the same.
Just a great guy.
Yeah, the best guy.
It's the best guy.
No, they both have like the same like monotone personality.
I feel like I would hate being friends with Paul Skeens. He just seems like a wet piece of bread. Like, I don't know if he's a good hang in the locker room. Like, I think he's one of those guys where it's like, wow, he's just like really good, but like, no one's going, hey, Paul, you want to get like dinner after this?
Except Livy.
Is it true that they're naming a AAA team after her in the Pirates org or something like that? They named them the Duns or something. Is that true? Or did I get sent out?
Not.
Did I get sent out?
Where did you see that?
Fuck! I saw that the Pirates were exploring naming one of their like farm teams the Duns or something like that.
I did not see that. That's so funny.
Maybe I might have got sent out.
You definitely got sent out.
Definitely got sent out. I'd be the teammate that wants to go to dinner with Paul just in case he brings Livy so I can hit on his girlfriend. Paul, what are you and the lady doing tonight, man? You'd be like, Livy, oh my God. What's up?
Did you see that they didn't even start dating because he didn't follow her back on Instagram? And if that's not the most Livy done thing ever.
Yeah, but I feel like that's every girl. Livy, long time no see.
She has
Also, dude, if I'm Bubba Chandler, yo, Paul, you better get Livy to hook me up with one of her famous friends.
Yeah, one of those.
Like, maybe I would just be friends with Paul because the connections.
Totally.
Maybe that's why.
Him and Jared Jones are like buddies.
Yeah, I bet Jared Jones is buddies with Paul Skeens, dude. It's probably Paul. Is she going to Coachella? Think we could dip out, maybe go to Coachella?
Just for a quick night.
Just a quick night, Paul.
Private
Come
jet.
on, dude. Come on.
I know
Paul.
Livy has a connection.
Yeah, dude, Livy definitely also right now has more money than Paul Skeens.
Totally.
Like right now.
I'm sure that GQ shoot probably helps him a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, also like Paul Skeens being like, I didn't know what GQ was before they even offered it. Like, dude, what the fuck are you talking? Everybody knows what GQ is, dude. Like, you could be under a rock and know what GQ is. You never been to a fucking gas station, fucking 7-Eleven, where they have the magazines? You never seen the big magazine that's always front and center? Like, you know what GQ is, dude.
Literally. It's in every single magazine stand ever.
Like, ever. You never been to an airport? Never been to an airport, going to get a water and see the magazine stand that says GQ right in front of your face?
Yeah.
That's the stuff that pisses me off, dude. Like, it's okay to be nonchalant, but don't just like lie and be nonchalant. You know? Yeah. That's the shit that'll piss me off.
I don't know how you can't know about GQ.
It's just the kind of org the Pirates are putting together, dude.
Stop it.
I wanted to talk about something that I thought was hysterical. You are a Steelers fan, and Aaron Rodgers yesterday was on Pat McAfee talking about he threw a DK Metcalf. People are saying that Aaron Rodgers' dream destination as of right now is the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's been talking very highly about Mike Tomlin, Pat Freiermuth, DK Metcalf, was seen throwing with DK Metcalf. But I want to talk about the New York Jets because I think this is the funniest thing I've heard in a long time. And I don't think there's many times in Aaron Rodgers' career where he's been humbled. And now that I had a year of Aaron Rodgers, I do think he's a self-centered, egotistical prick. And I don't mind saying that. I think he's probably the worst hang in the NFL. I think he's one of the most ego-driven men maybe to ever exist on the planet. But how about this move from Aaron Glenn? Did you hear about this?
No.
Aaron Glenn, with 2 days' notice, asked Aaron Rodgers to fly to New York. So he took a private jet to New York. Aaron Glenn said, yeah, we need to meet urgently.
How long ago? Like 2 weeks
This
ago?
was literally 3 days ago.
Okay.
He said, Aaron Rodgers just talked about it on Pat McAfee. We need to meet urgently. Next day, Aaron Rodgers jumped on a PJ, showed up to the Jets practice facility, walked into Aaron Glenn's office, and this was supposed to be a big meeting. We need to meet now. Sits down in the office, flew from, I think he's staying in California, all the way to New York on a private jet next day. Sat down in Aaron Glenn's office. Aaron Glenn said, do you have interest in playing quarterback anymore? And Aaron Rodgers said, I absolutely do. And Aaron Glenn said, well, we have our quarterback situation figured out. Thank you. It was a 5-minute meeting.
What?
Made him fly across the country for a 5-minute meeting. Get fucked.
Dude, He got bitched.
For the first time ever, the Jets have a culture. That's a fucking culture move.
That had to have felt good.
Aaron Glenn said, "Do you have any interest in playing quarterback anymore?" He said, "Yeah, I'm interested." And he said, "We already have our quarterback situation figured out. Thank you."
Wow.
Get the fuck out. And don't let the door hit you while you're leaving. That is my favorite move I've ever seen from the Jets in my entire life. And that's a culture-setting move. And I hope and I think Aaron Glenn did that for Justin Fields. Because I think Justin Fields heard that interview and went, "Yeah, you're right. I'm the guy. Let's go."
Dude.
Because that probably feels good. And nothing, and by the way, the Jets have been operating closed doors.
Yeah.
We haven't heard anything out of the Jets. The fact that story squeaked through the cracks, that tells me that's Aaron Glenn letting Justin Fields know for the media, for Jets fans, that we're dialed in on him and there was no other option. There's no exploring. There's no drafting, that we have our quarterback situation figured out. Thank you for coming down.
That had to have felt good. As
So
a
good.
fan.
So good. Are you kidding me? Aaron Rodgers goes on Pat McAfee bitching, complaining as a grown man because Aaron Glenn made him fly out and went, "Thanks for coming. See ya."
Yeah.
Get
That's
the fuck out.
That's fucking.
Get the fuck out.
He got bitched.
I'm
sure that hurt his ego.
100%, which means you might be getting a dialed in Aaron Rodgers.
I don't even know if we're going to be getting him.
Do you want him as a Steelers fan?
I don't
Where's
know.
your, as a Steelers fan right now, you guys are at a very interesting impasse. You just got DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
George Pickens looks phenomenal. For the first time, he's going to have another weapon. Pat Freiermuth is solid. The backfield will get figured out, I'm sure, through the draft as well.
Yeah.
But you're missing a quarterback.
Yeah. I don't know. They for sure have an offer out to Rodgers. Like that has been known.
100%. Yeah.
And he's stringing them along, just like
That's what he did with us.
He did with you guys. And I mean, at this point, he didn't look impressive enough last year to be doing this.
No.
Like if he, was solid for you guys won like 7, 8, 9 games.
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, I mean, sure, like take your time. But I mean, how many games did you guys win last year?
5.
And he was not even that great until maybe the last 6 or 7 games where he was fine.
So, but where are you at? Would you rather Aaron Rodgers or would you rather draft somebody like with the team that you have right now? Would you want a veteran quarterback or would you want to go draft somebody and go, okay, let's just maybe eat shit for 2 years in our really difficult division? Because you guys are in a tough division where it's like to make the playoffs, you have to be a championship caliber team in that division. Like the Bengals, Ravens, you guys, and maybe, definitely not the Browns anymore, but those two, to beat out those two, it feels like you have to have everything figured out.
Here's the thing. They won 10 games not even 3 years ago with the quarterback they have in the roster right now. Rudolph.
Mm-hmm.
They won 10 games.
Rudolph is not the option. Let's
I
not
know,
sit here and be
I
like,
know.
well, we got Rudolph.
But I think that's the fucking direction they're going to go. I do think that they should sign Rodgers, but at the same time, if they don't and they draft someone this year, I feel like they're limiting to themselves to maybe having a better option at quarterback next year.
If I were to ask you right now, you have the option of Aaron Rodgers or a quarterback in this class that's not Cam Ward. What would you rather?
I would probably go Rodgers.
Really?
Yeah. Only because there's an option where they could just bottom out and have a better pick for next year with class. It's way better.
You think
way better.
next year's quarterback class is better?
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of quarterbacks and classes, if I were you, I would want to draft. Just restart. There's no reason to plug and play Aaron Rodgers and pay him for a year and overpay him.
If there's also no reason to get a rookie with, at this point when.
But there's such a reason. You have
the
3
defense
years.
is only in its prime, and it's definitely going to start going down because the defense has been in its prime for the last 3 or 4 years.
Don't you think that's when you'd want a rookie quarterback where he can rely on the defense to maybe win some games while he figures it out with a guy like George Pickens and DK Metcalf?
They tried that with fucking Kenny.
Yeah, but Kenny was.
I know he was
just
junk.
Can't be drafting quarterbacks that wear gloves. You just can't do it. You just can't do it, dude.
I know. And it really fucking pains me.
I know it does. I know.
But
that doesn't mean that every rookie quarterback is going to be a miss. As a Jets fan, yeah, most of them will be.
I know.
Especially when we're picking. But that doesn't mean that you can't get a guy in this draft class that's better than Kenny Pickett with this defense.
I think if they were to draft someone at 21, it would be Shadur.
You think he falls that far?
Yeah, now, especially since the Saints have so many fucking issues, that was the only other team that could maybe draft Shadur, and they're 9th. And all the teams from 10 to 20 don't want to draft another quarterback.
I don't know if he falls that far. I think teams are going to trade up if that's the case. You guys might have to trade up. We might be trading our pick
but I don't want to do that either. We fucking trade up for Shadur. No, we have other issues. But dude, I mean,
This would be sick.
perfect timing.
That would be sick.
I low-key would not be
With
opposed.
George Pickens, dude, you guys would be so sick.
And DK.
Yeah, dude, that'd be.
Dude, we have DK Metcalf.
You'd have unbelievable culture in that locker
Oh
room.
my god,
That team would just be on smoke all day.
it's already gonna be on smoke all day.
But speaking of quarterbacks, since we are coin toss alum,
Yes.
or I guess current residents of the coin toss, how do you feel about the Nico situation? I feel like you were high on Tennessee going into last year. I feel like we talked about Nico a lot. I definitely said that he could overthrow a government, and now he signs with UCLA. The number came out that it is a $1.4 million deal. However, because Nico is an idiot with rocks or brains, and that school is in Los Angeles, they're saying that after taxes, he will make around $450,000. So going from 2.5 in Tennessee to 450,000 in UCLA. How do you feel about that move for UCLA
Dude,
and Nico?
he and his family are fucking idiots.
So dumb.
Fucking idiots. Wow, it didn't work last year. Yeah, it was like his first year playing.
So
Towards
dumb.
the end of the year, he was ass.
He almost sat out. How about that?
Ass.
He almost sat out of a college football playoff game.
Yeah, it's really bad. Like, and I don't think I'd much rather have a quarterback guy like Josh Heupel, the Tennessee head coach,
Mhm.
instead of going fucking UCLA and trying to start all over again.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's getting paid less. And probably, I mean, the Big Ten's probably a better conference, but it was just dumb. And I think he was just led astray by maybe his family. His family was going after people on Twitter saying, this isn't true, and trying to make the On3 reporters especially look like idiots.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a really shitty situation, and he definitely benefited the least of everyone.
I mean,
Now
he didn't benefit at all.
Now Tennessee, like, I don't even know what they're going to do. Quarterback, they're probably have to find I don't know.
Well, so this is an interesting thing I want to talk to you about too. One of the only coaches or former coaches that has come out and disputed Tennessee's move, because I think everyone, including college football fans, love what Heupel and Tennessee did and didn't bend the knee to these crazy quarterbacks that are trying to ask for ma and pa after doing nothing.
Yeah.
And I think also, just as a college football fan, love that nobody else bent the knee and was like, oh, we can get Nico. We'll give him $4 million. Everyone else is kind of like, dude, you're a fucking head case that didn't win shit. Dude, I didn't even look at the stats. The fact that he only threw 19 passing touchdowns and only 2 of them came against the top half of the SEC, like, he's not a good quarterback. So I'm happy that nobody bent the knee. However, the only guy that has come out against the move is former Ohio State coach,
I did see this,
who has a track record of some of the worst moves on and off the football field with his players and his own actions.
definitely
Urban Meyer came out and said, this looks great right now, but when Tennessee is halfway through the year with quarterback problems, people are going to go, Josh Heupel needs to lose his job because he could have had Nico and just paid him. Where do you fall on that opinion?
Dude, I mean,
Because I'll tell you where I fall.
he is right to an extent. I mean, it's kind of, he wasn't great last year, but you can't not expect him to progress in an offense like that. You know what I'm saying? So maybe they're going to be worse because they don't have like a super raw talent like Nico. So I mean, I'm happy that they didn't pay him $4 million, because that would have raised the bar for all these other quarterbacks who may not be as good as like some other quarterbacks are. And I feel like the market for recruiting is starting to correct itself.
I agree too.
There was a receiver at Syracuse that was asking for $2 million.
Did you see what the Syracuse kids he said?
Fran
Said,
Brown.
dude, the only person that's getting that number is that kid over at Ohio State, and you're not him.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the athletes like think they can do whatever the fuck they want, and all these agents representing them like think they can get as much money as possible. That's not how it works.
No.
College is already struggling to come up with NIL money.
100%. I think you're so right. Self-correction for sure.
Yeah.
I also think like a guy like Urban Meyer saying that just holds no weight, because I think what Urban Meyer fails to forget is when a kid asks for $4 million and Josh Heupel brings that up to the athletic director, and like I talked about with the WNBA a couple of days ago, where they just think they should get paid, but unfortunately, money doesn't just grow on trees and it doesn't just appear because you think you deserve it.
Yeah, good segment.
For Heupel, I feel like if I'm a Tennessee fan, if I went to the university, and if I'm a donor, I would rather potentially have a down year than have paid Nico $4 million, because what that tells me is that he was like, I don't want to pay this kid, but if you guys want to put this money up, we can pay him. And that tells me that the donors were like, we're not paying him. Like, we got our shit blown in the college football playoff. His dad is a nightmare. His agent is a nightmare. Clearly, he himself is a nightmare. So I feel like Urban Meyer couldn't have been more off base. Like, if Tennessee's having a down year halfway through the year, it's not like these donors are going to look at Heupel and be like, dude, why the fuck did you do this to us? Because he had to have at least had a conversation with donors to be like, hey, he's asking for $2 more million. And I'm sure Heupel was like, I don't think he's worth it, which is why the conversation was a 2-day span. So I feel like if I'm a Tennessee fan, I would almost rather you're halfway through the year, maybe potentially struggling because Nico, and by the way, I don't think Nico's going to do anything at UCLA. I don't know if you know where Nico's playing now, but he's in the Big Ten, and he couldn't throw against bad SEC defenses. Welcome to the Big Ten, where, by the way, 90% of the Big Ten defenses are first-round draft picks. So good luck throwing on them if you couldn't throw an SEC. And by the way, in the Big Ten, when you overthrow in the Big Ten, you get picked.
I was gonna have to travel so much more.
So much more. So if I am a Tennessee fan, supporter, donor, that is just such a non-issue for me. If we're struggling halfway through the year and our quarterback play isn't great, which, by the way, Tennessee's run game is what won them games last year. So you got to assume Heupel now knows how to operate a very efficient run game. So I think you can just plug and play a quarterback in that Tennessee system that can hand the ball off and go to a college football playoff. So if I am a Tennessee fan, I'm so happy that we started the precedent of self-correcting the market, because I think by doing that to Nico, you started that self-correction. Whereas if they paid him, I think you're seeing that kid at Syracuse that's a wide receiver that asked for $2 million. They might go, shit, might have to pay him.
I know.
But now they don't.
I could not agree more. And I'm sure they have a quarterback on the roster. I don't even know who's behind him, but I'm sure they have one or even two quarterbacks where they're like, maybe we can turn him into something great.
100%.
I mean, they fucking turned Hendon Hooker into
Goated.
a great quarterback. That offense was the best offense in college that year, I think 2023.
He was unbelievable. And two, there's still quarterbacks in the portal. Gio Lopez from South Alabama just signed to Bill Belichick. So like there's still quarterbacks in the portal if you want to go get a guy, for sure. But it also tells me that Heupel probably does like the kid behind Nico. That he's probably is going, dude, I mean, he's not worth the juice of that squeeze. And I can probably get more out of the kid behind him, or I can go get us another kid. So I don't know. I love that Tennessee did it. I'm just a big fan of, coming from a school like Providence and supporting Seton Hall in basketball and seeing how NIL has just completely destroyed those schools. I love that a team like Tennessee, that, by the way, getting $2 more million is nothing for them. Like, that can spawn out of thin air with that donor base. I love that they didn't bend the knee, because I think for the first 2 years of NIL, everybody bent the knee.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt good to see a kid like Nico, who, by the way, isn't worth his salt at the quarterback position, try to get $2 million and everyone be like, I'm not even going to pay you $2 million.
Yeah. There was like a limitless ceiling until that.
100%.
And now that there's like, it's almost like a cap, a salary cap, where they have more money to spend on other positions than they need.
And it's also, too, coming from a school like Tennessee, I think matters to a lot of schools in the Power Four. If it was like a bottom of the, like if a Kentucky was like, no, we're not paying him $2 more million, or a bottom of the Big Ten, like a Michigan State was like, oh, we're not paying him $2 more. Like, I think you're seeing other big teams like, dude, we'll fucking pay him $2 million. But a team like Tennessee, I feel like kind of sets that precedent of like, all right, this shit needs to stop.
Obviously great recruit. Like, he maybe next year, after a really great year this year, would have been worth $4 million. But again, like, just asking for that.
Or you're a top 5 draft pick.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, what?
It's like he's almost mortgaging his NFL future just for money now.
100%. That's what he's doing.
He'd much rather. I mean, I'm sure he would have excelled in Tennessee for another year or two, and pay less than get paid more when you're in the NFL compared to going to fucking UCLA right now.
100%, dude. 100%. I do want to talk about Bill Belichick really quick. How do you feel about that? Him being at UNC. I mean, his girlfriend's on the field. Apparently, is like managing the Belichick Fund or whatever. I don't know what it's called. But she's on the field during practices talking to him. He just got Gio Lopez. Where are you at with UNC coming into next year?
Dude, it's crazy that fucking Bill is in college.
If you told me as a young boy, when I was watching Bill Belichick violate my body every Sunday as a Jets fan, like just crush my dreams year after year, watching Tom Brady just shred us with Randy Moss for years of my childhood, watching a team in our division win Super Bowls and just fuck us every chance they get.
Yeah.
If you told me that head coach that tormented me would be dating a 23-year-old and coaching at UNC, I would have told you, you are a crazy person and you need to put the pipe down.
Insane.
I feel like we're living in a fever dream.
I know, it feels so weird. First game of the year is at TCU.
We have to go.
I know.
I didn't even know that till now. Dave, you better get those tickets up and fucking moving.
Actually, I think it might be at UNC, but it's versus TCU.
We should go to that anyway.
I would love to go to that.
Dave, we need to get those tickets up and moving if you're in chat, brother.
He's got to be.
I need to watch Bill Belichick at home play TCU and just get banged around, dude.
I'm honestly really unfamiliar with the rest of the team they have around him.
Zero.
Bill
I
right
know
now.
nothing.
I think they've recruited.
I know nothing.
I think they've recruited pretty well.
I know nothing.
And they just got Gio Lopez, but other than that, like they're losing Hampton, and their defense is always ratchet.
Also, Gio Lopez, by the way, is like not that great, but I think it's just funny that he was like South Alabama quarterback. Give me Gio Lopez, dude. He's like 5'8",
yeah,
lefty.
I don't know what they're doing. But I think it'll be a fun watch. I just checked their win total. You want to guess what it is?
6.5.
A little higher.
7.5.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Juiced over,
I feel like that's a lot of respect for them.
It is
For a complete turnover.
Yeah, especially when their defense has just been horrible for the last 5 to 6 years. Even longer than that.
Rat, dude.
Think about all the fucking QBs that have come out of there, and they haven't won shit.
Shit.
So I mean, I'm sure he's going to try to turn that around first before he finds his guy.
Yeah, if you're a UNC fan, I mean, I'm amped, dude. You're getting one of the most winning coaches of all time coming into your program that hasn't won shit.
He's definitely a defensive mastermind.
Jaden Ott goes to OU. How are you feeling about that one? And then we'll move on.
Dude, do you like respect their offense more?
I mean, I've always respected OU. I feel like we disrespected OU a little bit too much last year. They weren't great, but like OU is still OU, and like I feel like we forget that was our first year in the SEC. That's a huge jump. Like everything encapsulated.
They did.
I think Jaden Ott does move the needle a lot.
I agree. They didn't prepare enough to go to the SEC. Texas did.
So. Yeah, I don't think they did. Yeah, I agree.
Texas did, and it's been up on Venables. Honestly, like ever since they hired him, the offense has just been sucked out of that program. Now they have Mateer's offensive coordinator, and Ott, and then they have that one. What's the receiver's name?
Dude,
coming back.
I honestly wouldn't hate taking OU to potentially win the SEC this year because you're talking about the offense, but OU's defense has been respectable since Venables got there. So if he can just figure out that offense, that's going to be a really dangerous team this year.
I agree. I think they've lost like a few pieces on defense, but regardless, I mean, he's a great coach. I'm sure they have guys behind him.
That's like the only thing he's going to coach.
I also think their schedule is really, really tough.
Well, they had the harder schedule last year too.
Yeah, they did.
In case you were wondering. Texas had the easy street last year, and OU was literally, it seemed like playing the top half of the SEC every fucking week.
OU has Michigan as an out of conference.
That could be a walkover game because freshman quarterback.
Yeah, but he's kind of raw.
He's raw, but week one, I'd never take a freshman quarterback.
Yeah, well, it's week 2.
Especially against Mateer.
Whatever, yeah. Then they have Texas again, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina, Sellers. Ole Miss.
Ole Miss is going to be good.
Tennessee, which we don't know about Tennessee yet. Bama, Mizzou, and LSU. You have to assume
that is a gauntlet, actually.
It is. LSU, to me, even though it's at home, like that's going to be tough. They got Bama on the road, Ole Miss at home, Texas.
Dude, and by the way, I think Bama's going to be gross this year.
Yeah, I do too.
The longer he's there and gets his feet under him, they're going to get disgusting, dude.
Dude, he's a fucking incredible coach.
Incredible coach, dude.
His record in his entire coaching career, it's like 101 and 5 or 25 or something like that.
They're going to be so gross.
I completely agree. I thought they'd be way better with Milroe.
Also, Nussmeier with another year. Whew.
Yeah.
He's going to be disgusting, too. He's a guy that I think is going to be one of the best quarterbacks coming out of next year, too.
I miss college.
Yeah, me too. It's a bummer. I did really quick. I mean, we always address this kind of stuff. Just thoughts and prayers out to Florida State. What happened yesterday on the campus just should never happen at a college campus. Like, I can't even imagine being a parent of one of those kids. I can't imagine being a parent of a kid that was at that school at that time. I can't imagine being a student having to go through that. So just thoughts and prayers to the Florida State community as well while we are talking about college. The other thing I wanted to talk about really quickly as we shift towards the slate, because I do want to leave a lot of time for the slate because I really want to dive into NBA and all of that stuff. But it's a really weird change going from Florida State to this. But I'm a massive Star Wars fan, if you didn't know. It's like one of the things I'm unbelievably nerdy about. I grew up watching it with my dad. I watched the entire Clone Wars series. Like, I am a Star Wars nerd. I'm actually going to, they just re-released the Revenge of the Sith in like IMAX, and me and one of my buddies in Dallas were like, dude, we have to go. So we're setting up to go to that. But I'm an unbelievably big Star Wars fan. And my favorite actor is Ryan Gosling. I don't know if you saw this yesterday. He just got revealed as the lead in a new Star Wars movie that's coming out very soon.
Let's fucking go.
I was busting. That's
probably going to be really good, honestly.
And it takes place after the Rise of Skywalker, so it's going to be like an interesting film about what happens after this whole Rey situation. And he's just such a good actor. And like what Rian Johnson did to Star Wars just killed me in these last 3 that they made. And I just really hope that this is a commitment to going to a really good actor and making a really good movie again. And I'm amped.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I never really got into Star Wars. I have watched a few of them.
So good.
And I feel like the last couple I've just really not.
Well, so they had
my gym.
So J.J. Abrams had the perfect script for 7, 8, and 9. Like, he wrote out the scripts for 7, 8, and 9.
Mm-hmm.
He did 7, which was unbelievable. That was like set records. That was like the first introduction of Rey. And then instead of allowing J.J. Abrams to do the entire series, they gave 8 to Rian Johnson, who's one of the worst directors of. He has you know what movie did? You ever seen Splitter?
No.
Did. One of the worst movies of all time.
Splitter?
It's fucking horrible, dude. That's like his claim to fame, Rian Johnson.
Okay.
And J.J. Abrams had the scripts written out for 7, 8, and 9. And 8 is the worst movie you've ever seen because J.J. Abrams gave Rian Johnson the script. And he was like, yo, this is what I have visioned for 8. This is how I set up 8 through my movie. Like, let's go do this thing. And Rian Johnson threw out that script and like killed his villain. That was supposed to be the big villain throughout the entire 3. Killed his villain in the beginning. Like, made it super woke. Fucked the whole thing. And then it got really bad reviews.
Wow.
So if you watch it, though, then they were like, JJ, you need to save it. So they gave 9 back to JJ Abrams. Because what Star Wars does and what they do in like their little TV shows is they'll do a different director for every movie. But JJ wrote out 7, 8, 9. So he was like, just give these outlines to the next 2 people. But then 8 was so bad that they rehired J.J. Abrams to do 9. So if you watch 7, 8, and 9, you can remove 8 completely because J.J. had to come in and finish, like, rewrite 8, bring a villain back, and finish 9 without acknowledging 8. So you can watch 7 and 9, and it's a complete movie because they brought J.J. Abrams back in, and he was like, dude, fuck. So he had to do, like, 2 movies in 2 hours. It's like insane.
That's insane.
And like behind the scenes, apparently J.J. Abrams fucking like hates Rian Johnson now because he like completely fucked it. Like 8 is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. But
so Rian
7
Johnson,
and 9, fuck.
He just kind of fucked 8 and fucked the rest of 9. So that he had to come back and do it.
He like fucked 8, so then it fucked 9 because J.J. Abrams was like, dude, everything that I had written for 8 is dead now. Like he ruined I forget the black character's name. He ruined him. He like made this character Rose really prominent, and then everyone hated her because he like fucked it. So then JJ had to come in and was like, well, I can't do 9 the way that I wrote it. So I have to like think up a new villain and then somehow finish 9 in 2 hours.
That's insane.
But now we get a Ryan Gosling movie, so I'm back in.
Yeah.
I'm dialed in. I'm back in. I'm
like
excited.
They're saving it.
They are.
They're making a commitment to a huge actor.
I mean, hopefully, dude. Hopefully it's a good director too. I don't know who's directing it. But it's a standalone, so there won't be like a second or third. It's just a nice standalone movie. And the last standalone we got was Rogue One, which was goated.
Let's go.
All right, let's run the graphic and surf the slate. Let's surf some slate. That was the last thing I wanted to talk about.
You gonna give me like 5 seconds here?
Yeah, you're good. Welcome back to Slate Surf. It's a party show. We're going to surf slate, give you all the plays and parlays you need. I hope Rav's been in the lab, at least a little bit, because we're going to spend a lot of time talking ball today. Do we want to get baseball out of the way and then go into NBA? I think we should.
Definitely. I mean, I'm definitely a little less tapped on baseball than
I am too, but here's the thing, Rav. When you step on this show, we're self-proclaimed baseball guys.
All right.
So everybody knows we suck at baseball, but the bit is that we're self-proclaimed baseball guys.
Okay. Let's go.
If I'm actually going to check frame and see if the BTL sharp report's out, because I'm just going to fade that on the diamond today. Because make no mistake, if I tailed the BTL sharp report today, it would go 1-9.
It's actually, it might be Notion.
All right, whatever. I'm not going to splooge over their sharp report and ruin it before they show it. But I'm going to tell you, self-proclaimed baseball guy. I'm going to take the Cubs and the over. Rav, you want to tell them why?
Because you fucking love Kyle Tucker.
They're playing at Wrigley. Chat.
Dude, that
Chat
was
Ravs.
botted.
Chat.
That was botted.
Chat Ravs stood here before we filmed and for
botted.
5 minutes talked to me about why we should take the over and potentially make a demon slip in a singular game on this entire MLB slate when there's playoff basketball on today. For 5 minutes, told me about the wind, how it's going to average more than 1.5 more home runs than usual because of the wind. And Wrigley is going to be an overfest today. And I just asked him to explain that to you guys about the Cubs game. And he said, because I like Kyle Tucker. I'm going to keep it a bug with you. I don't even know who the fuck Kyle Tucker is. I assume he bats for the Cubs.
He does.
But the fact that that just happened live on air is absurd.
We need to regroup. I need to regroup. Can we run the graphic in?
Run the graph. Welcome back to Say Certain Part Show. We give you all the plays, parlays you need on a Friday. All right, here we go. Starting baseball, self-proclaimed baseball guys. Wrigley, an over-under of 11. That seems high. Rav, why is that so high?
Well, you want to know why? It's because the winds in Wrigley are really going out today.
Wow.
And supposedly, out of all of the stadiums in the MLB, Wrigley is the one that has the wind affected the most.
Oh,
How about that?
the Windy City.
So the over-under is at 11.5, which is large. And
That's
I know
large.
you love overs.
I do love overs.
So we have 2 turkey tossers on the fucking mound today.
Corbin Burns and Colin Ray.
Yep.
I'm down.
Except I think Colin Ray coming off a good start, which
Even better.
means even better.
Even better with 11 total.
Why do you want to take the Cubs though? Because you want to fade the D-backs?
Yeah. And I feel like wins bottom of the 9th, you might get some fireworks.
Ooh, I like that.
Any team with high wins that gets the last at bat, I like.
I like that.
Cubs in the over. Also, we might cook a little demon slip just out of that game for the wind. And then it'll be 2-1 going into the 9th inning.
Dude, that
Okay.
would be fucking rat.
That'd be fucking rat. I'm staying away from the Royals from now on. They're just moose piss. -142 today. I don't know why I would ever take that. I'm not. Bobby Witt sold the 2-piece yesterday. He's canceled. Bobby Witt and Juan Soto are canceled on TMA until further notice. Thin ice, Bobby Witt.
Did you see what did you have for Bobby Witt yesterday?
Fantasy.
Fantasy?
Yeah.
He missed a home run by about 2 feet.
Good.
Like it bounced on top of the wall but didn't go over.
I
So,
bet.
you got
No, we got fucked more ways than one yesterday on Prize Picks.
Yeah.
You're playing the Guardians today, only +110. What are you doing there? With Cameron Matazugi pitching.
Yeah, this is like he was a reliever for us last year. He was like a former first-round pick. He had a really good start the last time out. And we've been pitching very well. So I'm assuming that we don't pitch well today.
Okay.
And Luis Ortiz, also a former Pirate, pitching for the
Oh.
Guardians. We just traded him over the offseason.
Oh.
I think this might go over today.
Oh, I could get behind that. Okay.
Over 8.5.
I like that. Guardians Pirates over. I could so get behind that.
If not over, you should just take the team total for the Guardians.
Okay. I don't hate that either.
Luis Ortiz has also been somewhat dealing, I think. His ERA is a little high, but I remember seeing a few things on Twitter about him kind of popping off and Pirate fans bitching. So
I'm so down for that. We have -142 Dodgers. You can add that to my card. Fuck the Rangers. Sorry, Lauren. Hopefully you're not listening to that. The Athletics are +140 against Freddie Peralta. Go and stay away from that. We just won 3 straight. Probably going to get our tits knocked around.
fuck.
Other than that, let's go to the NBA, Rav. I'm so ready to talk
You don't
NBA
want any more
basketball.
baseball?
What else do you got? If you got anything, I'm not a baseball. I'm self-proclaimed until the summer starts, and then I'm actually a baseball guy. But if it's not the Athletics, if it's not the Dodgers, I really don't know what I'm talking about. So I don't want to lead people astray. If you know what you're talking about, more than welcome.
Here's an interesting one. Nats obviously just lost 3 of the last 4.
Moo shit.
They have Mackenzie Gore on the mound today, but they're in Colorado. The total is
Mm.
low.
Oh, only 8.5. That is low.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe some Nats usage. The Rockies are fucking horrible.
I just can't bet on the Nationals again after losing 1-0.
They are also -145.
Also, could I potentially, if Josh was here, he would be saying it. Could I potentially convince you to fuck with Woo today? Could I potentially
convince me to
could I
fuck the Woo.
could I potentially convince you to fuck with the Woo? Mariners money line?
I'm down.
We need to fuck with the Woo.
As long as who's
Yay lads gets it, dude. We gotta fuck with the Woo.
I'm down. I'm
Do
down
she
to
fuck with a Woo?
You want to fuck with her?
I think we take the Woo. Fuck with the Woo.
All right.
-102. Mariners.
Mariners ML.
Also, fuck Blue Jays. However, if someone wants to invite me to Toronto, I'm down to go whenever. All right, dude, let's talk some NBA ball. I'm so amped. We're going to talk about these games. We're going to talk about the Saturday games. Rav, I'm so dialed in on the NBA right now. It's gross.
Let's go.
I've been taking my time to watch the games and also wager on the games now that we're getting close to the end of the season, and I'm so dialed in. I really want, and this might shock you, because I think I said the opposite yesterday when I was talking with Josh off air.
Are you gonna tell me?
I want to take the Heat to beat the Hawks, dude. I just think the Hawks are going to struggle with Bam's size. I think the Hawks are going to struggle with Tyler Hero the way that he's playing. I really want to take Tyler Hero points because I think they might match up Trae Young on him because I think Dyson Daniels is going to have to be on potentially Andrew Wiggins. And I did talk a lot of shit about Andrew Wiggins yesterday, but I went back, watched some highlights last night of the game, and I really just wanted to see if I trust Andrew Wiggins. And I think you're getting an Andrew Wiggins that's dialed in on the playoffs. And I just think the Heat are also way better coached. And I paid juice for Kings -130 live. Shout out Chaka.
I didn't talk to you about that.
And I just feel like you're going to get Miami Heat defense against Trae Young. And I think he might be in jail tonight. Shout out Money Talk Sports.
Dude, I also like the Heat.
Like, who's going to stop Bam? That's where I think my brain goes. Who's stopping Bam?
They have Okongwu down low, who's definitely taken a step forward this year, but not only do they have Bam, they also have Kel'el Ware, who's been very, very
Who's
good.
been very good, dude.
Yeah.
And this feels like a Davion Mitchell on Trae Young game too, by the way.
Yeah, who's obviously fucking clamps. I do kind of hate that Trae Young had a really shit game.
I mean, he had 28
he
points. He just got ejected.
He had 28 points?
Yeah, dude.
I thought he was fucking shit in the bed.
No, dude. We had the Demon 29.5. He got ejected at 28.
Oh, wow.
My thing with Trae Young is he's going to have a day today. He's pissed off. This is where Ice Trae comes out at home in Atlanta. The place is going to be bumping and jumping.
Sure.
But I just think the Heat are better coached, and I don't know how Atlanta is going to handle Ware and Bam. And I think that's going to open up Wiggins and Hero, which is going to be a nightmare. And by the way, Hero and Trae Young, I feel like, are in the same boat. When they're on, they're on.
Mhm.
Tyler Hero is also going to come into this game red hot. Like, that's just a reality. Like, that's who he is this year, and that's what he showed. I mean, the Bulls are phenomenally way worse. And if you looked at the matchups, you probably take the Hawks because they competed with a much better team, and the Heat beat up on a really bad team. But I don't know. I'm really inclined to potentially take the Heat tonight.
I like the Heat as well.
I think just matchup based, not looking at the lines, not looking at the over under. I just think matchup based, the Heat are kind of a matchup nightmare for the Hawks, I feel.
It also just kind of feels like the Hawks are in this limbo of not having a star with Trae.
100%.
And I think they make that change after a game like this, where they get absolutely clamped up on can't do shit, just like against the Magic, another great defensive team. So yeah, I completely agree. I think the Heat will knock out the Hawks, and then they have some serious conversations about their future.
I agree. And I almost kind of want the Hawks to get knocked out because I think Trae Young deserves better. And I think this would be such a turning point for him to be like, bro, I can't do this anymore by myself.
And you know what? As a Knicks fan, that's very mature of you.
Very mature. Fuck Trae Young. But
I really thought
better.
You were going to say you were going to take the Mavs. And I thought we were going to start there.
Fuck that. No, I'm taking the Grizzlies -6. Fuck the Mavs, dude. Even though, by the way, the Mavs +6 could be the freest wager on the board because the Grizzlies, everything that they have, the Mavs have 10 times better.
That's where I'm going to erg with you.
You're going Mavs.
I think I'm going to go Mavs.
I mean, dude, that's just like, again, I have systems in the playoffs. Just taking 6 points in your pocket with a team that's probably better than the Grizzlies just feels so good.
They also don't have their coach. Jenkins got fired, and I know they've played a little bit better, but I don't know. I think the Mavs at this point, with everything that's been going on, and I know you love fading them because of this narrative, they kind of just, I don't want to say they want it more because the playoffs, like you were trying to get into the playoffs, and they for sure want to play the Thunder, who they hate. I think I will gladly take the 6 points in my back pocket.
I think, yeah, it's a free 6 points in the back pocket. I agree. I also think it's interesting that both these totals are the same. You're getting a really good defensive Miami Heat team against a Hawks team that, like, other than Dyson Daniels, is not really that impressive, and it's 221. And then you're getting a Mavs Grizzlies matchup where I don't even know if defense is going to exist, and the over is 221.
Do you think that means Miami game could go over and Dallas game can go under? Like,
that's exactly what I'm saying.
I agree.
Because I feel like the Miami Heat game should be closer to like 210. Like a really low total.
Especially since the Heat just shot their fucking asses off.
Their asses off, dude.
And the Hawks play fast.
100%.
But yeah, Dallas is somewhat good defensively. Memphis also good offensively. It's weird.
I'm going to take the 6 points for the Grizzlies just because, like, again, it's the narrative thing. I would fade me if you were smart because I think having 6 points in your pockets when Anthony Davis is the best player on the floor, bar none in that game, is probably the better bet. But I'm going to take the Grizzlies -6 just because I don't like the Mavericks. And I think, I don't know. And by the way, I could get flipped to the Hawks. But right now, the way that I see it, they don't match up anywhere well with the Miami Heat. And even if Dyson Daniels does come out and they put him on Tyler Hero and he takes Tyler Hero out of the game, I'm more interested in the Heat going through Ware and Bam because the Hawks don't have an answer for that, I don't think. Like, genuinely. I
agree. They also, I mean, they're undersized, basically, out of all the Heat. You've got Ware, Bam.
Wiggins is also a big three.
Wiggins, and then you have Mitchell and Hero. I mean, 4 of those 5 guys are great defensively.
100%. And by the way, I don't think Trae Young is going to have an easy day with Davion Mitchell. Like, I really don't.
Who's going to cook them on the Hawks?
Other than Trae Young, I don't really see anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I like
smaller.
The Heat.
I mean, fucking
Okongwu is junk.
Maybe Gay will have a better game, but again, like, he's going against Bam.
Yeah, like, I don't see that going well for him.
Yeah.
And Bam in the playoffs is different than Bam regular season. Like, he can turn it on. Let's go to Saturday, dude, where I have 2 PODs, man. Make that 4 PODs, dude. I have 4 PODs on Saturday. I'm going to stand on business. Bucks +5.5 is a free wager. I also think Bucks money line is going to be on my card Saturday because I think they're going to beat the shit out of the Pacers. I wouldn't be shocked, Rav. This Pacers team, dude, from last year when the Knicks had to play them, which, by the way, if everyone didn't get hurt, we'd probably beat them and we're in the Eastern Conference Finals, but they beat us. Whatever. I'm not going to make excuses. There is not a single player on this Pacers team that took a step forward from last year. If anything, everyone took a step backward. Maybe other than Nembhard. I think Nembhard became unbelievably solid this year.
I got to put one more in there. Toppin.
Got
way better.
But the fact that those are the 2 that got better out of Halliburton, Mathurin, Turner, Siakam, I am not worried at all that they're now playing playoff Giannis. Like, I think this series could end up being Bucks 4-2, 4-1. Like, I genuinely believe a lot in this Bucks team. And it feels like they're one of these teams where just throw the regular season out the window. Everything you watched about the Bucks in the regular season, throw it out the window.
Not agree more.
Because you're going to get playoff Giannis, and that changes everything.
I have a feeling
that
the Pacers are going to be sharp. For sure. And we know how that shit's been paying this year.
Especially in the NBA.
Yeah.
Especially in the NBA.
Horribly.
So I'm going to take the Bucks +5.5. That's my first POD. Do you have anything?
I really like the Bucks as well. And I agree with everything you said. I do think the Pacers definitely improved, and they play also at a really high pace, hard for defense to keep up with. But you got playoff Giannis.
Playoff Giannis is so hard to stop, dude. And who's stopping him? Miles Turner and Siakam? Dude, good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck, dude.
I'm going to also be in the Bucks.
Good luck. Clippers Nuggets. I think the Clippers are one of my dark horses to potentially make the Western Conference final. But I think the Nuggets take game one because I think you're getting X Factor Jamal Murray in game one.
You're also going into the altitude,
which is never easy. I think
Absolutely.
After game one, I'm going to be more inclined to take Clippers money line, Clippers with the points whenever it is, especially when they're back in LA, because I do think the Clippers are going to win, but this does reek of a game one. Jokic has his way. Jamal Murray, X Factor, drops 25. His points in game one is one of my favorite wagers on Prize Picks. Is at 19.5 right now. I think you're getting playoff Jamal as well. I love the Nuggets in game one, I think. But I think the Clippers win this series, but I love the Nuggets game one.
I don't know who I want to win the series, but I think I'm going to also take the Nuggets. I mean, it's really hard not to back them at home in game one of a series, especially with Jokic and the rest of them fresh off of the Malone firing, which was so out of right field.
So out of right field. That just tells me he wasn't getting along with the players.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with schemes or losing. Like, it was just like him and the players just didn't get along anymore.
I think they were, especially Jokic, was just so pissed that their defense was just fucking. I mean, it was so bad.
Moose.
So bad this year.
Moose.
He's like literally their best coach ever. But yeah, I'm also gonna do the Nuggets. I kind of like this under as well.
Oh, okay.
I know you can't take that.
No, I think shooting bad in the altitude, though.
Yeah.
Especially with guys like Harden, who's a little streaky now.
And I feel like that kind of favors the Nuggets. If the Clippers they've won 5 in a row. They might have a bad shooting performance going into the altitude. I like that under as well.
I agree. I also think this is a game where potentially the Nuggets come out, punch him in the face, and then you go, okay, Kawhi Leonard, you're going to have to take over because you're playoff Kawhi, and like that needs to happen. And I think maybe game one, you feel it out where Harden still thinks he's the guy. Maybe Norman Powell is the guy.
Yeah.
And then you lose game one, and it goes, okay, let's just go through the guy that's won 2 NBA championships.
Kawhi. Tell me about this game.
Okay. Knicks Pistons.
Yep.
I'm going to remove my bias for 3 minutes while I talk about this game.
Okay.
If there was ever a team that could beat the Knicks and knock them out in the first round, it's the Detroit Pistons. They just play gritty, physical ball. And other than Jalen Brunson, we don't have guys that play physical ball. Karl-Anthony Towns, as much as I love him, he is a guy that the minute the physicality gets turned up, he becomes a no-show. I think this is going to be potentially a 6-7 game series. I really do. As much as I love the Knicks, I think this, you can say the spread is telling, you can say whatever you want. Just knowing this Knicks team, how they're coming into the playoffs, they have looked horrendous. Horrendous. And the Pistons remind me of the Pistons back in the day when I used to watch the NBA when the New Jersey Nets are playing, where they don't care who they're playing. They're going to come in and punch you in the mouth and see how you handle it. And this Knicks team has not been very mentally strong this year. However, we're fully healthy. I'm going to put my bias back on. We are completely healthy. There's not a single position that the Pistons have better than the New York Knicks. Cade Cunningham is not better than Jalen Brunson. That is the only conversation that maybe you could have where you go, well, the Pistons have Cade Cunningham. He's not even in the same league as Jalen Brunson right now. We're going to beat the dog shit out of them in game one because this Pistons team does not have a single player on the roster that's played meaningful playoff basketball. And we do. We have 5 of them. And I think game one, the reason why that's -7, first of all, you got to come into the Garden. Your teeth are going to be shaken if you're the Detroit Pistons. You've never felt the playoff environment in the NBA yet. Jalen Brunson's fully healthy. Josh Hart is fully healthy. Mikal Bridges obviously always fully healthy. Karl-Anthony Towns fully healthy. We're going to beat the dog shit out of them in game one. And it's going to be, maybe the Knicks are going to 4-1 the Pistons and we're going to struggle in Detroit. But I think game one, we are going to beat the dog shit out of the Knicks. I mean, out of the Pistons.
I like that last point you made. They haven't,
they don't have a single guy
of Tim Hardaway,
who's was on the
and-
bench last year for a finals run.
Yeah, and maybe Malik Beasley. I mean, they have no one
Non-factor.
that has massive playoff experience, and I think that's going to matter going into what I'm assuming is going to be an insane environment.
Insane environment, dude. If you watched any playoff basketball last year with the Knicks, and also the Pistons are absurdly undersized, and Mitchell Robinson is healthy now.
Yeah.
So we're going to pound the rock inside, and Isaiah Stewart can try to fight whoever he wants in game one. It's not going to work. And if we look really good in game one, which I think we are, I could potentially be shifted into saying we might 4-0 the Pistons just because they have no experience. They don't have any size. They don't have any real ballers other than Cade Cunningham and Thompson. So I'm taking the Knicks -7 game one, and it's one of my most confident bets of the weekend because you're getting an upstart Piston team that thinks shit is sweet against a Knicks team and a coach that has been there, done this before.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, they did this to the Sixers last year and beat the dog shit out of them. So I think we're going to absolutely crack them in game one.
I do agree completely. I think the Pistons could maybe get 1 or 2 games back in Detroit.
I agree.
But I mean,
game one in
they've just been
Detroit
so
is going to be
scrappy.
very tough. Like
Yeah.
game 3, we're losing that game for sure because that fan base hasn't had playoff basketball in a decade.
I could 1,000% see that, especially if they have a shitter of the first 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
But I could not agree with you more. I really like the Knicks to cover,
And
maybe
I think
even a blowout potentially. Like that could totally happen.
I think it's going to be a blowout.
Yeah.
And I think Mikal Bridges talked about it in an interview yesterday. He was like, I think this is where I'm going to be most valuable because in the playoffs, and I think Detroit's going to realize this, it's really hard to get to the basket and it's really hard to get open threes compared to the regular season. And Mikal Bridges is mid-range merchant. And he was like, my mid-range is going to, like, he literally was like, it's going to be unstoppable. And like, these kids don't understand that like getting threes and getting to the rack is way harder in the playoffs. And like, if you can't stop me at the mid-range, you're going to really struggle.
Yeah. And I feel like the inexperience for the Pistons is going to matter more. You're going to have Duren down low against Robinson and Cat. And like, yeah, Cat definitely does fold when it gets physical, but he's a fucking rookie.
And dude, also you can see like Mikal Bridges went on an NBA Finals run with the Suns. Karl Anthony Towns has been in tooth and nail battles in the West in the playoffs.
Yep.
Jalen Brunson carried us through Philadelphia last year. Josh Hart is the biggest hustle player in the entire NBA. Like just the level of experience going into this game, playing guys like Cade Cunningham, who hasn't played meaningful basketball in the NBA yet. Not his fault. He was just in a bad franchise. Malik Beasley, who has never been the guy in a big moment in a playoff game. Tim Hardaway Jr., who was on the bench last year for a finals run for the Mavericks. Like, this is going to be a really hard matchup for them.
Not a rookie, but you know what I'm saying. First time in the playoffs.
No, yeah, 100%. My last POD, Lakers -4, dude. I just think this is like, this is where I think Lakers fans and the rest of the NBA are going to wake up and go, God damn it. Because once that calendar turns and that score bug in NBA games says 2025 playoffs, Luka Doncic becomes the best player in the NBA, and it's not even close. It's him, 50 feet of crap, and then guys like Jokic, LeBron. Like his level in the playoffs, and you've seen it every year on the Mavericks. You saw it last year, and you're going to see it again in LA. His level just raises to a Michael Jordan and a prime LeBron level, where it's like you cannot stop him. And he's playing with LeBron now. So I think much like that Knicks Pistons game, the Lakers are running into the Timberwolves are running into a buzzsaw right now of the Lakers. And I think Luka is going to go ballistic. And I think Anthony Edwards is going to have championships by the end of his career, but he is not there yet on Luka's level. And you have to be at Luka's level to beat him, or you have to have a team that Luka can't compete with. And that's why he lost to the Celtics last year in the finals, because he couldn't compete with that team. I think the Lakers are going to beat the shit out of the Timberwolves in game one. -4.
Unfortunately, like as much as I want to back the T-Wolves, because
to play off Luka,
I like the T-Wolves. I like Ant Edwards. I love Naz Reid for whatever reason. I love betting on Naz Reid. They are running into fucking playoff Luka. Fresh off of a fucking trade that
shook him.
So, I mean, do you think that the spread being 4.5 is a little like low?
I think it's going to be up to 5 by Saturday hits, because it's already juiced right now at 4. So I think you get to 4.5, and then I think people are going to start nuking the Lakers, and I think it's going to move up.
I kind of think it goes under. The total's pretty low. Both teams are solid defensively. The T-Wolves are supposed to be way better defensively than they were this year, but regardless, like they're still good. And the Lakers are great defensively.
Unbelievable.
I guess
And by the way, I do agree
Luka's
with LeBron. The third option of Austin Reeves is going to be unstoppable.
Yeah, Luka and LeBron, I guess, haven't been able to guard as well defensively, but
Well, Luka's a liability on defense. So I think that's what LeBron's going to learn is that playoff Luka, yeah, he's going to win you games by himself, but you have to make up for it on the defensive end, which I think is why guys like Dorian Finney-Smith that have played with Luka before are going to be ready for that challenge where you're like, okay, I know I have to pick up a little bit more.
Yeah. It's the playoffs, dude. Yeah, the intensity gets higher, calls are made less. It's going to be scrappy, but I think I agree with you. The Lakers are going to run through them game 1.
Run, dude. Also, someone in chat was like TMA to look at chat and answering questions plus 10,000. I haven't seen a single question. Anthony Edwards also turns it up a notch, so we're going to see. Sunday, I don't really want to talk about those games. I'll be on the Warriors with you guys. I assume you're going to be on the Warriors, and then I'm not touching a 14-point spread. So if you have anything on those games, please.
Yeah, no, not really. I've been seeing some discourse on Twitter, people thinking that the Magic can keep it close to the Celtics.
There's no chance.
Yeah, no fucking chance.
There's just no chance.
Just how fucking the Magic are just the most. I don't know how I'm trying to say this. Like every time I bet on the Magic this year, everyone knows that I fucking hate the Magic.
I mean, they're frauds.
They're so up and down. I mean, they showed up and played great against the Hawks in the play-in, but this is the fucking Boston Celtics. Okay, I mean. They're not. It's going to be a 4 game.
They just ran through the league last year. As much as I hate them, they ran through the league.
Yeah, and it's going to be the same thing again. The East is obviously not as strong as the West, and a 1 seed versus the 8 seed in the East is just a completely different ballgame than the 1 versus the 8 in the West, or 2 versus 7.
I agree.
Which I guess is going to be Thunder and Mavs or Grizzlies.
I agree. All right, let's do some prize picks. We have games tonight, but I kind of want to focus on games that I feel like I know a little bit better. So if you have anything for Heat, Hawks, or Dallas, Memphis, please give it out. I don't really have anything yet. Maybe I'll post one today, but I kind of want to look towards those Saturday games. I love Kevin Porter Jr. points potentially coming off the bench for Milwaukee and/or Gary Trent Jr. points. I think one of those two is going to be an absolute X factor, and I'm leaning towards Gary Trent Jr. right now. And also that game's going to be so high paced. I wouldn't be shocked if both could go over. I love Jamal Murray, 19 points for the Nuggets. I think this is going to be the X factor Jamal Murray game, even though he's a little banged up. I also think as much as it's biased, dude, it's so hard for me to not take Jalen Brunson in some way in game 1, dude. Like he gets 40 minutes a game and he just turns into a demon, dude. An absolute demon.
Luka, you take Luka?
I'm trying to find an angle on Luka, dude, because I could see him getting a 30 ball, but this is also, I think you're going to get playoff Luka, but this is also Luka's first playoff game with the Lakers.
Yes.
So I think he's also like, I mean, LeBron always tells him to fit out, but I do think it's going to be an interesting, I almost kind of just want to watch game 1 Luka. I could be down to take Anthony Edwards on the other side of the ball.
Okay.
Because I think he goes ballistic because that's just what he does.
Well, before we go to Ant, I was going to say, I want you to look at his assists.
Who, Luka?
Yeah.
Could so be down for that, dude. Just dish rock, dude.
Juiced hella right now.
Let's do that.
But, I mean, right now, I think he's going to want to be more team focused in his first playoff game. Dishing the rock a little more.
His PRA is at 45.5. Like, that's just not human.
Yeah, it's not. It's insane.
You need 30, 10, and 10. That's unbelievable.
But yeah, I'm down for Luka. I'll look at Ant.
You want to do Luka assists?
Down.
I think you could just take Ant points. Like, he's going to... this is what he does in the playoffs, and especially in LA, the main stage. How do you not take it? Anthony Edwards, at least in game 1. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Like, it fresh off of 43, but I mean, that was fucking Utah. It also wasn't the playoffs. So we have Luka assists, Ant points, and then you have Brunson points.
I might go Brunson PRA. Look at his PRA for me, 37.5. That's kind of more interesting to me than just his points, especially with Mikal Bridges now. Do you like that?
I I guess. I mean, maybe the Pistons have been clamping up against point guards recently.
I mean, 37.5. He hasn't hit that in the last two.
It is very.
Also, Josh Hart PRA too. Just trusting the guy. He hasn't hit that in 3 of the last 5. 3 of the last 3.
Yeah, trust your goat that is active all over the place to be active in playoffs.
You're saying Brunson?
No, I mean Hart, the guy who's all over the place.
I mean, he's all
active
over
everywhere,
the place, dude.
Maybe even take his fantasy and get his steals involved.
They don't have his fantasy up right now. What I'm looking at, I would like that. His 28.5 is looking at me really weird. I'll tell you what.
It's at 28.5.
His fantasy.
I'm a props like cash is at 27.5, which is.
Oh. Okay.
Would you rather go Hart or Brunson? You're the Knicks fan, so it's up to you.
I think Brunson game 1, dude. It's just so hard for me to not want it. Right now, I have Jamal Murray points, Luka assist, Anthony Edwards points, Brunson PRA.
Someone said PA hold the R, he doesn't grab rebounds like that.
So you want to go Brunson PA? I could be down for that too, dude. Yeah. Fuck it.
What's that at? 35.5?
I'm going to look right now, yeah.
It's at 34.5 on props like cash.
Let me find it. Here we go. All right. Points and assist is 34.5.
Okay.
I like that more.
Minus 123 on the Bucks.
I like that more, chat. Way to step in when we needed you.
Yeah, that was huge, chat.
Do we want a game stack Anthony Edwards and Luka, though? It's up to you.
We don't have anything in the first 2 games.
You
have Jamal Murray.
I have Jamal Murray, but I could be talked off Jamal. Bogdanovich points is weird. I feel like a guy like that's been in playoff situations, maybe you lean on him a little bit more. He's at 8 flat. Norman Powell's been busting. Maybe we just go Kawhi.
Do you want to do? What do you want to do? A Nugget maybe if they're gonna control the game.
If we were gonna do a Nugget, do you not like Jamal?
Look at Jamal.
This is where you lean on Jamal.
Jamal points or PA or assists?
I think just his points, just a 20 ball.
I do like his points. For sure. 67% hit rate for point guards. For points against the Clippers, the last 10, who are honestly pretty good defensively.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good.
I don't hate that.
I'm down to do Jamal points.
I do want to look at, in the last 10, Kevin Porter Jr. has been getting 24 minutes a game. Obviously, you're going to lose a couple minutes if Dame plays in game 1, which I don't think he's playing in game 1. Gary Trent Jr. has been averaging 27 minutes. I want to take one of those 2 for the Bucks, dude, and just make this a 6-piece and then find another one. I think Kevin Porter Jr., dude. 9.5 points.
You love Kevin Porter Jr.
Well, I really like him in the playoffs right now for the Bucks.
Don't you still have that slip?
Dead as
from
mom.
live, like
Literally dead as mom. Like literally could not be more dead.
Dude, tell Chad about that.
We did day after. I have a fucking Kevin Porter Jr. live point square with Paul Skeen strikeouts.
Which low-key might be on pace.
Or hear me out, Rav. We go to my GOAT in the playoffs. Nemhard PRA at 18.5, dude. Oh, I love that.
I'm running.
Okay, I'm taking out Kevin Porter Jr. Nemhard PRA.
Ooh.
That's a phenomenal square, dude. I promise. That is a phenomenal squared. I promise.
I like that.
The Bucks have no guards that play defense.
18.5, 17.5?
I like 18.5. Just normal. All right, right now, Rav, I have Jamal Murray points, Luka assist, Edwards points, Brunson PA, Nemhard PRA. What do we want to fill that in with?
Let me find one more. Let me find a...
We haven't done a Clipper yet. We could also stretch to Sunday if you want to do a Warrior. We could stretch to Sunday. We do have playoff Jimmy.
Let me look at Clippers real quick.
And playoff Jimmy is fucking gross. It's up for 34 PRA. Jabus Crimbus. And Steph's up for not a single normal point square. Just goblins and demons. That's absurd. 4.5 threes, though. The Rockets play good defense, so I don't know if I want to go to that.
They do play very good defense.
One of my favorite squares all year has been Eamon Thompson Fantasy. That's not up, but I think that could be a look.
You want to stretch this Sunday?
It's up to you. If you like a Clipper, I'm down for a Clipper. I'll tell you who I'm not taking. Sangan. Don't even let it leave your mouth. Don't even let it leave your mouth.
You know who's been very, very good this year? And I think he's actually going to win Most Improved Player.
Who?
Zubac. The only issue is
Ooh.
he's going against Jokic. So maybe we don't do Zubac, but
Could do Drew Holiday PRA. Lean on your guy. Lean on your vet.
did you see? Sorry, completely off topic. Did you see that Budenholzer asked Beal to be more like a Drew Holiday this year?
Yeah, and he was like, no.
And Beal was like, "Don't ever ask me to act like another player."
Cancer.
Buddy,
He's literally a
you're-
cancer.
You're fucking ass. You haven't been as good as you were for the last 5 years.
Literally ass. Like a 2-pack of ass. What are you liking?
I don't know. I don't know where to go for this. I didn't lab Saturday. We have a pacer. Do we have a buck?
We don't have a buck. Let's do a buck.
Wait, we have Kevin Porter.
I took him out, but I'm down to put him back in. Kevin Porter PRA, I feel like could be ma. Or just points, 10 points. But I feel like he's down to sacrifice a little bit. Or maybe his fantasy.
Dude, has he been grubbing?
Grubbing, dude. He's been nuts, which is why I think you just go to him in the playoffs. I think Kevin Porter Jr. fantasy. Can we do that?
Sure.
Even though it's a full green chart, I don't really care about that stuff in the playoffs.
Sure.
All right. I like it. This is going to be graphicked. 6-piece NBA.
Can you send me that link?
I can.
I'm Prop Cash the whole time.
I can. Copy link. Texting it to Rav. All right, guys. The Rav and Mikey Overs. I mean, mainly me. I'm not going to put Rav's name on this if it sells. Jamal Murray points. Luka Doncic assists. Anthony Edwards points. Jalen Brunson points and assists. Andrew Nembhard PRA. Kevin Porter Jr. fantasy. All more than.
Putting $69 on it for my will.
Let's go, I will. Turn me the fuck up,
For
dude.
my will, 6969.
I will. You're goated, dude.
$69.
6'9".
Sure we can.
6'9". I love it.
Do you want to do a demon stack off stream?
We could. I mean, we could try to shift right now if you want.
I don't think lineups are out, which is an issue.
For the Cubs?
Yeah, unless they are, and I'm just capping.
Well, I think that's one of those teams where you know who's going to be playing.
Well, you know what? Game's at 120. I bet you it is.
Cubs. Yeah, they have every Cub up right now. Who's been the guy for the Cubs that Josh is jizzes over every day?
Kyle Tucker.
Yep. We could do.
Cubs lineup is out.
We could do.
So we have to do Burns either over hits allowed or earned runs allowed. Demon.
I like
Demon
either
or
of
Goblin.
those. I like either of those. We could do 3.5 Dansby Swanson hits, runs, RBIs.
3.5.
It's kind of high. Or you could just do Demon Ribby.
We have to associate it with where they're at in the lineup. So it's Hap, Tucker, Suzuki, Bush, Swanson.
Ribby.
Swanson, Ribby.
Ribby Demon.
I like it. And then you want to do, he's going to be hitting in either Bush, Suzuki, Jesus Christ, I almost said Sawinski. You know, Suzuki, HRR.
Oh, I could do that.
What do you think that's at?
I don't know. We could also get involved in Kyle Tucker somehow. He's up for 1.5 total bases. We can make it 3.5.
Is that the lowest demon?
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of bases. That's basically a homer.
He might.
It's been a little while, I think. I'm down to do that.
I'm down to do that too.
All right. So we have Tucker 3.5. Suzuki, what's his HRR at? 2.5.
Let me find it. Suzuki HRR you're looking for?
Yeah.
It's at a half Goblin, 4.5 Demon. Jesus Christ.
Well, to be fair, we're expecting runs.
We're expecting a lot of runs.
Let's do Suzuki HRR.
4.5?
We're expecting runs.
Okay.
You do Hap run. I bet you that's a gob. Or regular square.
App run is 1.5 demon.
Holy fuck.
That's crazy, dude.
What
That's
else does Hap have up?
crazy, dude. I mean, he's got everything up. Why do I feel like Ian Happ's going to hit a double?
Okay.
No?
Well, that's fine. I mean, shit. This ball's going to be flying.
Doubles. We have 4 Cubs right now.
That's how you do it.
Burns, 4.5 VRA, or hits allowed, Demon 5.5. I think 5.5 hits.
Okay.
I feel like we could find a Diamondback to round it off. Who's
Josh
goated
is
on the
going to be
Diamondbacks?
fucking pissed that he's not involved in this.
We could do Corbin Carroll, Demon 1.5 hits.
He's leading off.
Maybe that's it. That's the rounded off piece. Wow. 6 piece. Dansby Swanson, RBI. Kyle Tucker, total bases. Seiya Suzuki, hits, runs, RBIs. Ian Happ, double. Corbin Burns, hits allowed. And Corbin Carroll hits. All demons.
We just took a class at Demons U.
That is a 78x flex, a 198x power.
Wow.
I feel like I flexed that for 5K.
For sure.
Yeah, it's definitely flex.
Can you link me that? Or we'll put in the Discord.
Yeah, we could definitely Discord that one. All right, that'll do it. Rav, you want to say goodbye to the people and then I'll end the show?
Chad, it was a pleasure. Love coming on TNA. I think I might actually be on a few times next week as well.
Let's go.
I will see you, Rav, looking like you just bogeyed on 17th.
Rav does look like he just bogeyed on 17.
Well, I'm not a good golfer, so I probably doubled or tripled.
Let's go.
But I will see you guys for Surge. Let's fucking go.
Let's go, dude. Rav putting in a shift Tanamo Bay today, bro. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to keep this quick because we got BTL coming up, but I just wanted to first of all congratulate you for making it to Friday.
Hold on a second.
I know how hard it is to make it to Friday. I saw something on social media yesterday that I wanted to talk about really quickly, and I think it's a great way to frame working on yourself. And I think I've felt like this, and I think this is just a great way to look at it as you go into Friday. You're not broken, you're just growing. I think a lot of the times when we go through a really bad situation or we're really struggling with our mental health or we're really going through a tough time, we like to feel that we're broken or that we're less than or that everything is over. And I think reframing is the most powerful tool we have as a human with a brain. And it's okay to feel feelings. That's why we have them. We are human. And I think just reminding yourself that you're not broken, you're just growing. And growth can sometimes be painful. Growth can sometimes be sad. But at the end of the day, growth is always positive. And I think just reminding yourself, if you are someone that's going through something really bad right now, or you feel like you're down in a slump, or you feel like nothing's going your way, just remind yourself that not everything's broken. You're just growing, and you're going to be a better person when you get through the other side. Take one step forward for me today. I know how hard it can be to take a step forward. And sometimes we take steps backwards. I think I took a little step backwards yesterday, just was unable to conquer whatever it was I was dealing with. But I woke up today and I'm committed to taking a step forward today. And we've learned through doing the show that it's about the attempt, not the result. So be the person that attempts to take a step forward every single day. I love you. If you haven't heard that today, I love you. Go tune into BTL right after this. Same stream, same place. Go tell them we said what's up. I love you guys so much. Have yourself a weekend. Let's go, Knicks. The playoffs are here.